Welcome everybody to the Glasgow pilgrimage of the Iona community. My name's Alison, and with other members of the Iona community over the last 20 years, I've been leading different groups of people on walks around the Glasgow story of what it means to live through the rule and the justice and peace commitment of the Iona community. Welcome to Govan Old Parish Church. There's been a site of worship here for hundreds of years, and archaeologists have found hogback stones which are markers, they think perhaps, of sites of burial, but there are many different theories about what they are and what they were used for, just as there are about this space of enclosure round about the church. This is where the Iona community has its birth and its roots, here in the heart of Govan, here next to the Clyde and in the heart of what used to be slum housing within the Govan area. This is where George MacLeod had his ministry. This is where he also had his breakdown, had his moments of recognition that poverty calls us to a new way of life. This is the heart, the furnace, if you like, of where some of the story of the Iona community began.
Amen. 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 Amen.
The rule of the Iona community calls us to work for justice and peace, wholeness and reconciliation in our localities, society and the whole of creation. And as part of this, we have a commitment to justice, peace and the integrity of creation. And the first half of this commitment says that we believe that the gospel commands us to seek peace founded on justice, and that costly reconciliation is at the heart of the gospel. That work for justice, peace and an equitable society is a matter of extreme urgency. That God has given us partnership as stewards of creation, and that we have a responsibility to live in a right relationship with the whole of God's creation. That, handled with integrity, creation can provide for the needs of all, but not for the greed which leads to injustice and inequality and endangers life on earth. That everyone should have the quality and dignity of a full life that requires adequate physical, social and political opportunity without the oppression of poverty, injustice and fear. That social and political action leading to justice for all people and encouraged by prayer and discussion is vital work of the Church at all levels. And that the use or threatened use of nuclear and other weapons of mass destruction is theologically and morally indefensible, and that opposition to their existence is an imperative of the Christian faith. As members of the Iona community, this is what we believe. So behind me in this building here is the Pierce Institute, and this again is one of the historic sites of the Iona community. It's where George MacLeod, the founder of the community, worked from, but it's also where for a long time the Iona community had its offices. Today it's home to refugee organisations and anti-poverty organisations. It's a place where some of the revitalisation of the Govan area has happened over decades. For families, for lonely folk, for the people of Govan, for the strangers of the world. Welcome. This incredible space might be empty and echoey now, but imagine it full of life, the life of the Daffodil Fair, which is a part of the history of the Iona community, a great gathering of people, or the ceilidhs and the celebrations we've had there, perhaps most recently the 75th anniversary of the Iona community, where members and friends gathered from all over the world to celebrate the story, to watch a play about George MacLeod, and to remember the roots of the community here in Govan and in the Pearce Institute and in the MacLeod Hall. Imagine all the debates that there have been at our annual general meetings, the weighty discussions and decisions that we've taken. This is a place of history.
He's got his camera on me.
You're going to get a million hits on YouTube.